Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Michelle here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Dan, and he's selling his Amazon Associates affiliate and display advertising business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Welcome to the show, Dan. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm glad to have you here today. I'm looking forward to learning more about your business. But before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of it. It's an Amazon Associates affiliate and display advertising business in the survival and security, outdoors, and equipment niches, created in June 2018. The average monthly revenue for the business is $10,475, and it makes an average of $10,262 per month in net profit. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 56436 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's see what's included. We have a domain with all site contents and files, 3 additional domains used for email and 301 redirects, social media accounts for Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, SOPs, a keyword list for content expansion, and existing affiliate relationships. So Dan, now let's hear from you. What can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, so this is my first proper kind of venture into building online businesses. I basically started this website after finishing my master's, and I just wanted to, go all in and learn more about online marketing and SEO and how it works and all that stuff. And the best way to do that is, jumping in and kind of learning the ropes. I had some savings. So basically, I spent a whole year just building up the site, writing most of the content myself, doing all the research, link building, everything. So long story short, it's my first major project and it worked out and I'm happy about it. But now it's just time for me to move on. So that's why I'm listing it up for sale. Yeah.
We've actually come across that a lot recently where people are selling the first sites that they've built. What made you come up with the idea to start this one?
I guess I wanted to work for myself. This 4-hour work week dream that people have, just work from a laptop, travel around the world, not so much passive income because passive income is never passive, but just this freedom from, having to commute to the office every day, something like that, or having to live in a cold climate. So that was the motivation behind it. Yeah, that's about it, really. Also, I had bad grades in the uni. Well, not bad, but, average, so I couldn't get into cool companies. So I figured, why not just try to do it myself?
Well, it's great that it worked out for you. So how does this business model primarily make money?
Everything started from Amazon, right? Amazon Associates. I'm pretty sure most people are familiar with that one. Then I added up third-party affiliates and Mediavine as display ads partner. So right now it's mostly Amazon still, but then third-party affiliates and Mediavine are a nice addition to Amazon as well.
And why did you choose this business model?
So it's the easiest. You don't need to invest a lot of money into it. That's about it. All you need is a domain and some keyword research tools to get started if you write all the content yourself, unlike an e-commerce business where you need to think about inventory, ordering product samples and all of that stuff. So it was basically a low risk, high reward way of getting started in online business.
All right. And you've mentioned before that you were interested in learning about SEO and link building and whatnot. And your site covers a few interesting niches. So what attracted you to those niches?
I was just interested in it myself. It was very, very, very hard picking a niche when starting out. It's I spent a lot of time just thinking and, overthinking and all that analysis paralysis stuff. I think everybody goes through it in some way or another. And eventually I just thought that to hell with it. I found something I'm interested in and let's just stick with this one and try to make it work from there. But to just decide on a niche. But yeah, just personal interest basically.
Oh, it's great. And earlier you were mentioning that it's time for you to move on. So can you expand on that a little bit more, why you're selling the business now?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So the business had a good last year. So 2020 was good. And this year is also doing okay. And at the beginning of this year, I decided to try to keep growing this business and, make it even bigger than it is. But for some reason, it just didn't work out. I don't have the energy that I had to work on this business. It's just, I'm not excited anymore. It's more like something is missing. And I have a lot of new projects coming up with some friends of mine that I cannot really dedicate the attention that I would like to dedicate to them because of this website. So it's like everything kind of aligned, so to say, for me to sell this website. Like I don't have the energy to work on it anymore. That's the main reason, really.
That's totally understandable. Is there anything that you've learned from this business that you will apply to future sites or businesses?
I would say the most important thing, well, it's not going to be anything original, right? So keyword research, competition research, but something less common perhaps is the value of content optimization, really going deep on those long tail keywords, secondary keywords, whatever you can get from Google Search Console and Ahrefs. So including as many topically relevant terms as possible in each of your major articles. That was the thing that probably surprised me the most. And it really, really worked well for me. Yeah.
And earlier you mentioned that, this is your first business and you did really well with it, pretty much so right away. Did you try things that didn't work?
Yeah, of course, a bunch of them. But you know how it is with things that don't work. You kind of you kind of do them, they don't work, and then you forget about them. I was actually thinking about this before. So there was a lot of failed link building at first. For some reason, that just really came hard to me, the link building part. Then a bunch of automation, like content templates, automation. I was doing things with Excel sheets, just a bunch of experiments that really got me nowhere, but eventually taught me something as well. Some Python coded scripts. Yeah, I don't know. Usually the thing with me is I get obsessed about something and then I go really deep into it. And then, 5 days later, I realize that, maybe I didn't need to do all of this. Maybe I can just pay somebody like $15 to do it for me. Why did I just spend 5 days doing something that, yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I get really hung up on the research aspects of things. I love doing research. But then there are times where you go, oh, wow, no, wait. Like you said, I've just spent 5 days doing this. It was totally unnecessary.
Yeah, pretty much. But, as long as you're having fun, why not, right?
Exactly. So I was going to ask you, you were talking about, your link building strategy wasn't totally successful in the beginning. Where does the majority of your traffic come from now?
Yeah, it was not successful, but it was more like it was hard getting started or hard moving to the proper tactics of link building. So most traffic comes from organic. I think it's mainly organic. I haven't even looked at how much we get from social media because we haven't been active on social media at all. So I think it's organic, basically, yeah.
And so you mentioned that you're not active on social media right now. What do you currently do in terms of marketing?
Right. In terms of marketing, actually, there's very little that I do. There's the occasional content updates, so making sure that everything works, but most of the content on the website is evergreen. If you compare it to a niche, say like technology, where you have new mobile phones, laptops, and other stuff coming out every week, headphones and whatnot, there you need to really work on those content maintenance tasks. But with this one, it's way easier. It's way less work. But that's still one thing that needs to be done, like every 3 months, maybe run a content check. And then just occasional links, again, through agency or, usually through vendors. It's going to be either outreach links or a couple of niche edits here and there. I've been deliberately light on link building. Like I don't want to go heavy on link building because everything has been working quite well without having to build a ton of links to it. And other than that, that's really it when it comes to marketing tasks.
Okay, Dan, earlier you were telling me that right now you don't have the energy to grow the site the way that you think that it should be grown. So what are some ways that you would try to grow it if you kept it?
Yes, so the site it has a foothold in a bunch of sub niches, I would say, to the main niche. So there are a lot of content expansion opportunities. And I think some of these sub niches, actually, all of them come with a non Amazon affiliate partner as well. So if I was growing the site, I would just invest a lot into content expansion and take those sub niches, go through them one by one, and just hammer them out, hammer out whatever you can find when it comes to content and supplement that with link building, I suppose, as well. But it's not very competitive, those sub niches that I'm talking about. So you might or you might not need links if you play your cards right. That's how I would do it, yeah.
Okay. Aside from expansion into these sub niches, for any interested buyers, what do you think the major opportunities for growth are with this business?
Yeah, so content expansion, definitely. If they want to grow it, you need to push more content onto it, more specifically into the expand those shoulder niches that we are already in. There's one that is definitely should be hit number one, and then there's two, three potential shoulder niches more. So all in all, you have like 3, 4 shoulder niches that the site is already ranking in that you could expand with content. And I think that would be quite easy. Also, conversion optimization, like some tables are still table press, and I haven't really done any A/B testing on that. I had an offer from Convertica. They said they could increase conversions by 20%, but I just didn't have the energy, something to take them on it. So there's definitely more that can be done when it comes to conversion optimization on this website as well.
All right. So there's a lot of growth potential, in your opinion, for this site. What do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Let's start with the obvious: Google and organic traffic, right? Algorithm updates. Although it's been going good with the last couple ones, Google has been rolling out these mini updates. I think one was in August, and now we had one in September 24th, I think. And we've been benefiting from them, but definitely algorithmic updates are the major, well, yeah, I mean, that's for any content site, really. But yeah, it's a risk. Second, there is Amazon, right? So Amazon is still, I think, 70% of the earnings. So right now, Amazon rate slash would be another risk you should worry about. The good thing about those shoulder niches, as I said, each one of them has a non-Amazon partner attached to those. So if you choose to do a content expansion and work with those partners more closely, you can diminish even further the role of Amazon in this site's revenue. So Google and Amazon, I would say, the main risks. I mean, we haven't done any risky link building. We haven't done any PBNs. The content is good. So, I don't see any of those more risky penalties happening on this website. I don't think so. No. Yeah. Just Google and Amazon.
Earlier, you gave us a brief overview of what you do for marketing, but can you describe the amount and type of work you do on the business for maintenance?
I think that's what I described, actually. Well, as I said, I haven't had a lot of energy to work on this business, and yeah, not a lot of energy. So basically, when things are going good, you don't need to do much, and things are going good now. They're going okay. Like, I cannot complain. Everything is working. To maintain maintenance tasks is monitor the traffic, check it like every week, see if things are going up or down or maintaining, and find the causes. And usually it's going to be either content updates or some link building here and there. And that's about it, really. If I bought the site and I did the content expansion, that would actually also benefit the existing content, because right now we have those footholds in some of the niches, but those pages, they don't have a lot of topically relevant internal links pointing to them. If you took this site, you published like 40 new articles in a sub niche and you interlink all of them, then that would actually benefit the existing content a lot as well. But yeah, when it comes to maintenance, just occasional content updates. And I mean, links, quite optional, I would say. Yeah, the site historically has not been dependent on link building that much. Like, it's definitely not a situation where you have to build 5 links per month or you're going to lose all your rankings, or your competitors are going to get ahead of you. So link building is something that you should do because it's a good practice. It's good to have links, and you rather be safe than sorry. But it's definitely not something that you absolutely need to do.
All right. And what skills or requirements are there for someone not familiar with the niche or the business model?
Well, it's a content website, right? So you definitely need to know your way around with SEO. Yeah, so SEO, Ahrefs, keyword research, Google's tools, right? Google Analytics. I use Google Data Studio myself, Google Search Console. I mean, if you're planning to buy the site and expand, I can help out with like a keyword list and other advice. I mean, I can help with anything really, anything that the buyer would like. But at the end of the day, you need to have some SEO experience, like some knowledge about it. You need to know keywords, backlinks, all that stuff, all the regular stuff, I suppose. Yeah.
And you were saying earlier that you personally developed all the content for the site.
So most of it, it's going to be most of it. Yeah. I would say 90%. I was trying to outsource content to writers in spring, but like another project ended up taking up most of my time. And for some reason, I had trouble finding good writers for this one. But at the same time, I was looking for writers for another project. And there we had two great guys, like straight away, just like that. And for this one, there was like iffy up and down. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go, for the more exciting one where things are working out. Yeah. So most of the content is written by myself. Yeah.
So when you started this business, was there anyone in particular who inspired you?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So there is this subreddit called Just Start. Have you heard about it,
Yeah,
actually?
I have actually. I actually belong to it.
Sweet. So yeah, and when that subreddit got started, there was this guy, humble salesman. He started it in 2016, maybe, and there was this case study he was running. Like, I'm doing everything alone. Yeah, I sold my portfolio. I don't know. Do you know this? Have you heard about it?
Oh, I haven't.
Okay, so that's how this subreddit actually got started. Like, this guy came from the entrepreneur subreddit because there was some stuff going on there apparently. And he started this Just Start one, and he started it with that some other case study. It's like, I'm doing this alone. I sold my portfolio of websites, and I'm going to prove to all of you that me working alone using some like freely available tools, something like that, I'm going to build a site that's going to generate 50K a month by the end of the year. And he had like 6 updates or something by the end. I think from January to July, he kept at it. I think he was doing something like 4K per month by July. And then he burned out and got tired and sold the website. But that was a big inspiration for me. It's like somebody who is dedicated and interested and persistent and, hardworking, that you can just sit down and do it and, have some of that freedom. That was very inspiring. And I was like, okay, this guy can do it. I can do it too. Maybe not as good, but maybe it's going to take me longer, but it's definitely possible. So that's how I got started. Yeah.
That's really inspirational. And even if he didn't make it to his goal, I don't think that, there's anything to knock about a site making 4,000 a month. That's still incredible for a new site.
And I mean, the biggest thing about it is that you really have nothing to lose. I mean, provided that you have some cash, right? You have some cash saved up, you can live for a year, 2 years, a modest lifestyle. Then really the worst thing that can happen is that you learn a bunch of skills that are marketable, that are employable. You just make yourself employable in that industry, the SEO industry, right? Or content industry, or whatever you want. You still gained a bunch of valuable experience.
No, it's an excellent way to look at it. So I was just wondering, would you be willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And how much support are you offering buyers?
Yeah, I think something like 60 days and 2 Skype calls, but really, whatever they want, like I can answer emails, no problem. I'm interested in seeing the buyer succeed.
We hear that from a lot of our sellers, that it's less of a time commitment and more of a whatever the buyer needs.
It's not like 2 Skype calls and I don't want to hear from you again, right?
Exactly. And are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Yeah, sure. I'm open. I would prefer not to, but it's not a hard no. So we can definitely open to hearing offers about it. Yeah.
All right. That's fair enough. And so for our last question, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, Why do you think this is a business worth buying?
So the niche, basically, if you want to get into the niche and you want to have a head start, kind of like not start a fresh site, have some content already, have some revenue generating asset already, I think this is a good website to do that. And well, if you have money to spend as well, right? So it's kind of difficult for me to put myself into the shoes of the buyer, because for me, this is a lot of money that, the site is selling for. So it's kind of difficult from that sense. But if you're interested in the niche, if you want to get into the niche and you're looking for, kind of like a well-rounded asset that you can grow into something much bigger than what it is now, I think it's a good opportunity for that. Because it's kind of brandable. You can have multiple content directions to go into. The site is not really constrained. You know how some of those websites are, like besthairtrimmers.com. It's nothing like that. So you get a nice wide vertical to work in with this website. You get some links built, you get history. Google kind of likes the site as well, like it's ranking already. And you have those 3-4 sub niches, shoulder niches that I was talking about for content expansion. And I think one of them is really a golden opportunity that should not be missed. And I would really love to go after it myself. But if I had the energy to work on this website, unfortunately, I don't. But I think that's about it. The buyer would have to be interested in owning an asset in that specific niche for this website to make sense.
That's a great answer. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your business that I might have missed?
Yeah, this might be into going too much details because it's mentioned in the listing, but I guess you can cut it out if anything. There's this thing with indexation issues. So the site in June, it got hit with a Google update. There was beginning of June. And 5-6 pages just fell out of the Google index. And everything is fine. I did content updates on those. I built links to them. They're like genuinely the best available content on the internet for those keywords. And they're not ranking. They're just not pulling in any traffic whatsoever. And it's just Google's indexing issues that they've been having since, summer 21. So there are those pages, like 3, 4, 5 of them. And if they come back, which they've been popping in and out, like you can see it on Google Search Console, actually. The Search Console itself says everything is fine. The page is indexed. It's included in Google's index. Everything should be fine, should be perfect, but they're just not ranking for anything. They're not even showing up in the top 100 results. So yeah, basically what I want to say, there's those, I think, 5-ish pages that are suffering from this. And if they come back, then that would be an instant kind of revenue boost for the website. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with them. I'm not sure if the buyer can do anything right now. Maybe somebody is smarter than me, but they should come back with one of Google's algo updates. I think that's how those things work, yeah.
Yeah, I think I actually read something that you had written about your site saying, about these pages and that they probably would come back with the next update. But if somebody could figure out a way to get them re-indexed faster, then it would just be an added bonus.
Exactly, yeah.
A bit of low-hanging fruit, I suppose.
If you can catch it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I couldn't.
Well, that's all right. So is there anything else that you'd like to share?
No, I think we're good. All fine. I've said everything, yeah.
Well, great. Thank you then so much for your time today, Dan. It's been a pleasure to learn more about you and your business.
Okay, it's been great talking to you, Michelle.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 56436. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.